In this video, we'll be reviewing how we can keep your data clean using the Unapproved Purchases tab in the My Kitchen ingredient list. From the main kitchen tab, we will click into Unapproved Purchases. In Unapproved Purchases, this allows us to see items in real time as they're being digitized from your invoices. When our team is digitizing these invoices, they're breaking them down line item by line item and digitizing them and categorizing them into a variety of preset categories. It's important to note that in unapproved purchases, we're not approving that these items were purchased, we're approving the way our team has organized and linked items together within your account. The My Kitchen ingredient list, however, is a master list of all of the items within your account, whether they have been approved or unapproved. Under unapproved purchases, in the beginning, you'll notice your health score is at a low percent. As we go through and approve these items, this health score will slowly jump up. Once your health score is complete at 100%, the only items going forward that will show up in unapproved purchases will be items that you're bringing in from invoices for the first time. Those ones will show up back under unapproved purchases. When you take a look at unapproved purchases, you'll see we have a few different methods of searching. You can search using the search bar for the ingredient, supply description, or item code, and you can also use these filters. You can filter by supplier, you can filter by category, by unit of measure, and by location. This location is the physical location on where you keep items within your restaurant that will be used for inventory counting. For more information, refer to the inventory videos. Today we'll focus on categories. An important thing to note is the difference between the restaurant ingredient names and the supplier products. The restaurant ingredient is the description of the item that your restaurant uses. These are the ingredients or the items that you either prepare or use to serve your guests. The supplier products are the individual ingredients or items that suppliers sell you. This is the name that appears on the invoice directly from that vendor. You'll also see the category that we've put it in, the supplier, the pack size, as well as the most recent package price and the most recent date that this item was purchased. We have 3 different cost centers that we're putting your items into. Today we'll focus on the food cost center. So we can scroll down and unselect other. Best practice is to jump into these categories one by one. So to do that, we will unselect food, and today let's take a look at the produce category. These are all of the items that our team has tagged as produce within this account. You'll notice they are sorted by restaurant ingredient with the supplier product underneath it. Organizing your ingredients this way helps us make sure that regardless of whether you price compare or buy the same product from multiple suppliers or simply deal with substitutions, that we're keeping your reports, recipe costs, and inventory sheets up to date with as little effort from the restaurant as possible. Once we get into the category that we want to take a look at, we'll simply start scrolling down the list and just take a look at each of these items. We want to make sure that we're looking for any items that would be used interchangeable that would be linked together. Another way to think about it is if it's an item that you would count the same on an inventory, those are examples of items you would want linked together. As we scroll through this list, you'll see the different restaurant ingredient names as well as the individual supplier products linked within them. You'll also note the different suppliers that they've come from. As we scroll through, we just want to make sure that everything looks correct, that we've got like items linked together, and if we come across any items that shouldn't be linked together, we can use the chain link icons over to the right to make those changes. Once you are all set to approve these categories, you can hit the checkbox up at the top, and then you can approve all of the items that you have highlighted. Once you approve all of the items within a category, you'll notice that under unapproved purchases, that category is now empty. If you still want to review these categories directly and view the items within them, you can click into My Kitchen ingredient list. Any filters that you set will follow you as you jump into each of these tabs. So now we're back in produce and we have all the same functionality that we had in unapproved purchases. We can link items together. We can edit pack sizes as well as change categories. Now let's take a closer look at linking and unlinking items together. For this example, we're moved into the dairy category, and we're going to look down and look for restaurant ingredients and supplier products that may be linked together incorrectly. If we note down here, we'll see we have cheese-cheddar which is a cheese cheddar sharp loaf, as well as we have for the restaurant ingredient cheddar sharp loaf. This is be an example of these two supplier products needing to be linked together. The way we would do that is over to the right, you'll see these two chain link icons. The one level with the restaurant ingredient would be if we wanted to move these items at a group level. That is, if there's more than one supplier product within there. The icon next to just the item itself, the supplier product itself, would be moving that individual item. When there's just one supplier product in the restaurant ingredient, it doesn't necessarily matter which chain link icon you use. Once we click on the chain link icon, now we'll go ahead and we'll enter in the name of where we want this item to go. Since it already exists, you'll see it right here, cheddar sharp loaf. Now it's giving us a description. We are adding this supplier product in with this supplier product, and they will be linked together under this restaurant ingredient name. Once we hit save, now we'll see that change take effect. You'll see we've now linked together these two sharp cheddar cheese loaves. Now if we have an item that's linked together incorrectly, you'll notice under cheese pecorino we have Romano and we have Parmesan. So to unlink these items, again, we will click the chain link icon level with the supplier product we wish to unlink, and we will go ahead and change the name. Now if you notice, it says plus new. Currently we do not have a restaurant ingredient with this name, so we are creating a new restaurant ingredient for that supplier product. It'll default to the category we're already in, but if we did need to change it, we can use this drop-down bar as well. We will hit save, and now you will see these items have been separated and unlinked together. This is the main step when we're going through unapproved purchases. We want to start off by making sure that before we jump into building recipes or getting inventory locations set up, that we have ensured that our items are linked together correctly, as well as categorized correctly. If you come across an item that you're not quite sure of, follow up with other members of your staff, whether it's a chef or other managers that may know more specifically if you use these items interchangeably. Some restaurants may want to keep their large eggs separate from their extra large eggs for certain recipe items. If, however, you decide eggs are eggs, regardless of the restaurant ingredient or the supplier name, you can go ahead and just link these together using the same step. Once you've gone through and you've made those changes that you need, again, we will click this checkbox over to the side and we will approve these selected. If you have questions on an item and you're not quite ready to approve it yet, you can always unselect the items that you need to follow up on and then approve the ones that you have selected. The unselected items will stay in unapproved purchases until you have a chance to go in and get some more information on these items.